What if Martian Manhunter arrives in a Cadmus headquarters? And what if Lex Luthor ends up experimenting on him? Alright, DC Nation, welcome back to another video on Superman. And guys, a couple days ago we got the behind the scenes look, and we had a teaser back in December, and some marketing since then, but it really seems like the Superman marketing is truly about to begin. Like bro, they've been releasing a lot of like promotional artwork, posters. This is my favorite marketing they've done so far. Like this poster is amazing, bro. Just the retro feel. The blue, the star in the background, last son of Krypton, and obviously they took inspiration from the Donner era Superman 78, You'll Believe a Man Can Fly, and yeah, I love the reference here, and dude, I hope we get more posters like this one. Very simple, very effective. But yeah, besides the posters and all the marketing so far, one thing I've noticed is the fact that there are going to be a ton of villains in this movie. Like bro, Superman is going to be put through the ringer. He's going to be fighting monsters, Lex Luthor, aliens, like whatever you could think of. And there's actually a total of 10. And I'm going to talk about all of them in this video. All of these have basically been confirmed by either name, or they've shown up in the teaser, or the behind the scenes look. The behind the scenes look gave us some better looks at certain villains, and I'm excited to talk about it. So yeah, DC Nation, let's get it. So to start it out, the obvious one, Lex Luthor, you know, played by Nicholas Hoult. Now guys, I originally was excited for this casting, but I didn't think it was like, oh, the best casting ever. But as time has gone on, I'm really starting to be convinced that he is Lex Luthor. And bro, he's giving off like Michael Rosenbaum vibes. Like, he's definitely not a Clancy Brown Lex Luthor. Like bro, Clancy Brown Lex Luthor from the DCAU. This is my all-time favorite Lex Luthor. Like dude, just his voice and how calculating he was. And dude, the DCAU has the best versions of DC characters most of the time. And yeah, dude, this Lex Luthor was so awesome, man. He had different outfits throughout the DCAU. And another good Lex Luthor is Gene Hackman, you know, from the Richard Donner era. And he started out with the hair, which is so crazy, man. Like, I think it's crazy that he had the hair in Superman 78 and then he didn't have the hair anymore. Like, that was just a good attention to detail. I love that they did that in those movies. But Gene Hackman was amazing, but Nicholas Hoult is not giving off vibes of either Gene Hackman or Clancy Brown, but rather Michael Rosenbaum. Bro, Michael Rosenbaum's Lex Luthor is amazing, bro. He did an amazing job in Smallville. He really had that calculating, intellectual vibe to him, but he also had some good charisma. He didn't have a deep voice at all, and Nicholas Hoult doesn't have a deep voice at all either. Towards the end of the sneak peek, we got the teaser again, but with some more footage, and in that footage, we actually got to hear Nicholas Hoult say a line. Now let me find that, guys, right here actually, right here. So, oh yeah, he says he's back. He doesn't sound like Clancy Brown with a deep voice saying he's back, but rather Michael Rosenbaum.
He's back.
See, yeah, initially I was kind of worried like, is he gonna be as intimidating? But I also saw like photos of Nicholas Hoult right alongside David Corenswet's Superman. Let's see, right alongside David Corenswet's Superman. And bro, they're like the same heights, which is crazy. Like, look at this, bro. Like, they are the same heights. Oh wait, hold up. There we go. So they're the same height, so you know that Lex Luthor is gonna be intimidating, and he's got the suit, bro. He's got the suit on, and he might wear the exosuit. Bro, I really want to see him wear the exosuit. Let's see, Lex Luthor, exosuit, DC Comics. Like, check this out, bro. If he wears something like this, or something like this, I'll get so hyped. Like, we saw him wear like a suit in Superman and Lois. It was a gray suit, and he wore the green and purple in Supergirl, you know, John Cryer's Lex Luthor, but the special effects were not the best there, so I want to see like a cinematic Lex Luthor in his exosuit, the green and purple. Like, bro, something like this too, you know, an Injustice, and I really think, I'm thinking that the Hammer of Boravia, who people thought was Gorilla Grodd at first. That was so crazy. Like, I know Gorilla Grodd is in the DCU, like from Creature Commandos. Like, guys, you remember Creature Commandos, Gorilla Grodd? This was such a good reveal, bro. I remember getting so hyped. I made a video about it. I can't wait to see Gorilla Grodd in the forefront again and go up against Superman, the Justice League, the Flash. Like, bro, I was kind of excited that maybe he would be in this movie. Like, that original image of the Hammer of Boravia from afar, it was very blurry, kind of looked like Gorilla Grodd, but it's officially not him. It's actually the Hammer of Boravia, which is this whatever juggernaut of a suit. Like, dude, look at the Hammer of Boravia. We saw the Hammer of Boravia in the behind the scenes look, a great image of this juggernaut. And I have a theory that maybe the Hammer of Boravia is like a proto version of Lex Luthor's exosuit. Or maybe it actually is the exosuit. Maybe Lex Luthor is the one who's wearing this suit, and he is the Hammer of Boravia. And by the way, the Hammer of Boravia is the second villain in this video. We had Lex Luthor, now the Hammer of Boravia. And I really think the Hammer of Boravia is going to wreck Superman. It's going to be a formidable foe. And I kind of hope it actually is like a proto version of the exosuit, and maybe it gets messed up, and maybe Lex decides to, you know, make the purple and green pop more, especially since this movie is more colorful. Like, the colors really stand out, they're vibrant. But bro, without the colors here, this Hammer of Boravia suit, it still looks so formidable. I love the practical version. Like, dude, they made this suit practically, no CGI here. Like, this was a behind the scenes look. So imagine what the Hammer of Boravia is going to look like in the movie. I can't wait, bro. Now, another villain in the Superman movie is the Kaiju. Bro, I can't wait for this. Like, bro, this Kaiju right here looks awesome, really cool design. And yeah, this like toy figure, look at the Kaiju's like mouth. It looks like something from like Pacific Rim. And yeah, I can't wait for this fight. Like, that one image of Superman, let's see if I can find it. Okay, so here we go. This image right here, him holding up something, which this is a behind the scenes look, and I actually think he's holding up the foot of the Kaiju. And bro, by the way, little side note, this suit is looking better by the day, bro. Like, the Superman suit, how it was introduced originally, where it was like messed up and Superman like crouched over, sitting down. I wonder why James Gunn made that the first look. I really want to know, because that was not a good first look. Like, this is how the Superman suit should look. Like, this Superman suit, like, bro, look at this. Bro, him in this Superman suit, he looks awesome, man. The Superman suit is really standing out, especially here. It looks colorful, it looks good. I still think that the lines are a little too much, but I'm fine with the collar. The cape is amazing. Like, bro, the cape and the S symbol on the back is so dope. It looks amazing here. So yeah, the suit, I'm cool with it now. I think it looks great. But going back to the Kaiju, bro, Superman like looking at the Kaiju, I love this fan art. I think it is fan art, right? Yeah, it's fan art. And if we could have this Kaiju just like destroying a bunch of things, stepping through Metropolis, breathing fire a lot, just like this image. What if this guy is being experimented on by Lex Luthor? And what if this little thing turns into this Kaiju? That'd be insane, bro. Like, imagine that little alien looking thing is experimented on so much that it turns into a Kaiju. Or even better, what if this little alien gray looking thing that we're thinking is a white Martian is actually Parasite? Stick with me here. is actually Parasite, this guy who is a big Superman villain. I've been hoping to see Parasite in live action for so long. He was actually pretty good on Supergirl. Like, the design on Supergirl was actually pretty dope. Yeah, this Parasite was actually really cool. So right here, Parasite. So Parasite can start out small, but if Parasite absorbs enough energy, and say absorbs energy from Superman and becomes super powerful, and if we go to My Adventures with Superman, the recent Superman animated series, Parasite turns into this, turns into a Kaiju. So I could definitely see Parasite starting out small, looking like this, right next to Lex Luthor. And by the way, I think Lex Luthor is against metahumans and is trying to basically experiment on certain things to come up with formidable foes to fight against metahumans and really to fight against Superman. And I'm guessing his experimental project is called Cadmus. This could be the beginning of the Cadmus arc. You could have Lex involved, eventually get Amanda Waller. There could definitely be some setup here, and you guys know how metahumans being the focus could transfer over to the Kingdom Come story. There's definitely something there, but I can see Lex Luthor using Parasite and experimenting on him so much that he turns into a Kaiju, and the Kaiju that we're seeing here, bro, is actually Parasite. Now, that'd be an interesting evolution of Parasite, but bro, imagine this Kaiju fighting Superman, destroying him, beating him up, and absorbing more energy, and after his fight with Parasite, Superman flees to the Arctic, to the Fortress of Solitude, and we find him on the ground, wheezing, bleeding. And that's what we saw in that image of him calling for Crypto. That would make so much sense, bro. But hey, I'm fine with the Kaiju just being a random monster that shows up, and I'm fine with this thing being the White Martian. So the Kaiju was our third villain. This White Martian is the fourth, alright? So, this thing a lot of people are thinking is a White Martian, which, guys, if you don't know what a White Martian is, it's basically a violent Martian Manhunter. Like, you guys know the Martian Manhunter, one of the best DC heroes, but let's look at the White Martian. The White Martians have always been big villains in the DC universe. Like, dude, the opening storyline of the DCAU's Justice League animated series, like, let's look at this. DCAU, Justice League, Secret Origin, White Martians. Like, the White Martians were literally the main antagonists, and they look like this, which, dude, come on. They're fully white, very skinny. Bro, they look almost similar. But yeah, I could definitely see this being the White Martian, and this could maybe set up a Justice League movie that mimics the Secret Origin opening storyline in Justice League animated series. I know we're thinking that the Justice League movie will have like the Center as the main villain. I know that's been like the theory for a long time, and I kind of hope the Center is still the villain because, dude, James Gunn, he does great with like big monsters. Like, look at Starro. If we had the Center, a dinosaur island, and if they made the Justice League movie kind of similar to the New Frontier, that would be amazing. I had a whole video about that. But if it's not the Center, I could definitely see the White Martians becoming the main villain. The first major antagonist in the DCU. Like, dude, that'd be pretty awesome. And imagine, guys, Lex Luthor maybe finds a White Martian who has crashed into Earth, and he's experimenting on this White Martian, and maybe Lex Luthor is another reason why the White Martians come to Earth. Because the White Martians are going to eventually come to Earth, and that could set up Martian Manhunter, but maybe Lex Luthor teams up with them, but then realizes, like, late in the game, that this was a bad idea, and I actually need the help of the Justice League. And dude, we actually got some tease of Martian Manhunter on the set of Superman with the Chocos. You guys know Martian Manhunter's favorite food? Yeah, Chocos. He loves Chocos. You know, those little, like, basically Oreo cookies. That's what I'm gonna call them. But on the Superman set. Let's see if I can find it. Superman set photo. Yeah, this right here. This Superman set photo from like last year had chocos on the side, and a lot of people were thinking, oh wow, cool reference to Martian Manhunter. But now, with this theory that this little gray looking alien thing that Lex Luthor is talking to is a white Martian, or maybe is a Martian Manhunter. What if John Jones, Martian Manhunter, comes to Earth in the same way that he came to Earth in DC The New Frontier? Like, guys, check this out. DC The New Frontier. Remember, in that story, Martian Manhunter arrives looking like this. Like, look at him right there. He looks like a skinny version. Looks almost similar to this guy. Only difference is this guy is white and gray, where Martian Manhunter is obviously green and he has red eyes, but at the same time, this photo is a behind the scenes look and it's far off, it's blurry, like this is zoomed in, bro. This is zoomed in. So I could definitely see maybe this gray looking thing actually being green, and maybe with some, you know, CGI and special effects, it's actually Martian Manhunter. What if Martian Manhunter arrives in a Cadmus headquarters? And what if Lex Luthor ends up experimenting on him and turning Martian Manhunter against Superman, and eventually Martian Manhunter, he breaks free from Lex Luthor, and boom, Martian Manhunter is set up. Like, bro, I love Martian Manhunter, one of the best heroes in the DC universe. Like, this image of him, right, let's see. Yeah, this image of him right here is so amazing. Like, I want to see Martian Manhunter with a blue cape, and I want to see Martian Manhunter and Superman team up, and yeah, there could be some setup for the Justice League here. That could be too much for the movie, but still, man, is this Martian Manhunter, or is it just a white Martian? Now, another villain in this movie is the U-Man, alright? The U-Man. Some people are thinking it's Ultraman. This guy right here, we got Rick Flag Sr., and you got the Engineer. We're going to talk about the Engineer in a sec, but the U-Man. We can only call him the U-Man right now because he's a black suit figure that has a U on his chest. And a lot of people think it stands for Ultraman, you know, the evil Superman from another world, the crime syndicate, which I hope it's not him, because dude, the crime syndicate, I don't want them being involved yet. I don't want any multiverse shenanigans in this movie. Like, keep the multiverse over at Marvel for now, and maybe later Flash, who was the original one to introduce the multiverse, can introduce it back into the DC universe. Or maybe do nothing with the multiverse. The multiverse is kind of overdone. Maybe avoid that for now. But yeah, besides Ultraman, it could just be like a clone of Superman. Like, guys, remember that clone of Superman in Superman Doomsday? The one that Lex Luthor experimented on, and bro, this could tie back to Cadmus, this guy, which in this movie, Superman is in the black suit, and this is actually the clone. But maybe the clone could actually be a black suit, and that black suit can first look like the U-Man, alright? Maybe this is actually a clone of Superman. I can definitely see that. It most likely is. Like, I feel like that's the biggest theory, and maybe this clone of Superman eventually becomes Bizarro. I would love to see Bizarro against Superman. We already know that Superman will fight against the U-Man. Like, we saw a shot of them fighting in the teaser in the baseball field, but also in that baseball field, we see Superman versus the Engineer. And the Engineer is the 6th villain on this list for this video. And yeah, bro, the Engineer, she's going to be like a main character in this movie, and antagonist first. She connects to the Authority, so maybe later on she'll turn into like an anti-hero, but for now it really looks like they'll be fighting. Like, they fight in the baseball field, and it looks like the Engineer is working with Lex Luthor and the Lex Bots. We got the U-Man, who may be Ultraman or Bizarro. We got the Engineer, who I'm actually excited to see her in the movie, what kind of special effects they add on to her. and how formidable she'll actually be. And yeah, that'll set up the Authority, the 7th villain for this video, or villains, technically, the Lex bots, his foot soldiers, which take inspiration. Let's see if anybody has in the comments, but okay, I'll just say it. So, the Lex bots in Superman for All Seasons, these guys. And yeah, dude, these guys have the purple and green. This is basically what Lex's exosuit should look like. And the fact that James Gunn is including these Lex bots in the movie, which will be going up against Mr. Terrific, really makes me think that we'll get Lex in the iconic exosuit. Like, bro, you got the purple and green right here. Now, another villain in this movie that I think a lot of people have forgot about is Maxwell Lord. Yep, Maxwell Lord is gonna be in the movie, and he's played by Sean Gunn, you know, James Gunn's brother, right here. Yeah, he's gonna be in the movie, and he's actually the one that is basically sending out the Proto-Justice League. You know, Guy Gardner and Hot Girl, Metamorpho, Mr. Terrific. They have the Maxwell Lord symbol on their suits. So yeah, there's gonna be some commentary there, but I'm pretty sure we'll actually see Maxwell Lord, which Sean Gunn as Maxwell Lord, not my favorite casting, but I'll give him a chance. This image right here is not too bad. The second to last villain I'm going to talk about in this video is Simon Stagg. Yeah, but Simon Stagg, another business leader, another human that'll cause problems for Superman by creating Metamorpho. Like, guys, we're going to get Metamorpho in the Superman movie, and he'll become a hero, but at first, Metamorpho might be a foe to Superman. And bro, I can't wait to see Metamorpho. Like, I loved that new look of him in the behind-the-scenes look. He just looked amazing, bro. Like, the practical effects, so good, man. But going back to Simon Stagg, he'll definitely be a foe that is like lurking in the background and will be the cause of a lot of conflict in the movie, but not like a big player. Now, the last and final villain that is basically confirmed at this point, it was one of the first ones that people theorized, is Solaris, the Tyrant's son. A lot of people thought that Solaris was in the background of that first look at Superman that we got last year, almost like a year ago, and that purple ball that is in the background, they're thinking it's Solaris, and a lot of people are thinking that like the green blast is from Guy Gardner, so we might see Guy Gardner go up against Solaris, the Tyrant's son, and maybe Superman will jump into the action. But guys, Solaris literally works with Lex Luthor in the comics in All-Star Superman, and bro, All-Star Superman is probably the biggest inspiration for this movie. Like, James Gunn has mentioned All-Star Superman so many times, and yeah, if you're taking inspiration from that story, which involves Lex Luthor, who's the main villain in this movie, it also involves Solaris. So yeah, I could definitely see Solaris being the purple ball in the sky, or maybe if it's not him, he could still show up somehow. Like, I really think Solaris is going to be in this movie. And will Solaris, the Tyrant's son, be ridiculous, or will James Gunn find some way to make him look and feel formidable? So yeah, that's 10 villains, guys. That's 10 villains that will be in the Superman movie. Which villain are you the most excited about? I'm really excited to see this Kaiju. And yeah, guys, tell me, what other villains do you want to see in this movie? Should there be any other villains? Like, I really think this movie is gonna have a Superman Up in the Sky feel to it. For those that don't know Superman Up in the Sky, it's a comic miniseries written by Tom King. And before you say, Ethan, Tom King, like, hear me out, alright? Tom King, he could actually be a great writer sometimes. He could also be a bad writer at times as well. But this is one of those cases where he was an amazing writer. This might be his best story at DC Comics ever, in my opinion. Like, Superman Up in the Sky is a phenomenal miniseries, so good. It was released during that time when DC was putting out comics at Walmart's, and you had Superman Up in the Sky and Batman Universe Great comics, both of them. And in this story, you see Superman trying to save a young girl who is out in space somewhere. She's been taken, and he's trying to bring her back to Earth. So he goes up in the sky. And throughout this comic, you see Superman go through the ringer. He fights villain after villain. Countless villains back and forth, and it's kind of like the 12 trials of Hercules, just there's no penance, so it's just Superman going through a bunch of trials. And yeah, it's a really good comic, man. But yeah, guys, that's going to wrap up the video. I hope you enjoyed it. I talk about all the villains. I really went in depth. This is more of a longer video, and if you watched till the end, I appreciate you, bro, so much. Thanks for watching, and peace out.